Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's Thursday. You know that means it is time for High Probability Short Term Profits Live with Mike Wade. First up, we're going to talk a quick market review. We're going to talk a little pause in the Trump rally, kind of stagnant a little bit there. Then we're going to talk about Mike's quick sniper portfolio. We're going to go through that 90% win rate, 46 of 51. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Still pretty good. A recent trade. We're going to talk about SEDG. And then we're going to talk about a current trade that we have coming for you today. I'll keep that one a surprise, obviously. Then we're going to go over some of your stocks, some of your tickle symbols. So go ahead and get those in the chat. Let's get things going. Mr. Mike Wade, how you doing way down there in Costa Rica?
Good morning, man. I'm doing well. Here's my Costa Rican view. My dog. Yeah,
Current view's
it
not
doesn't
too bad. Not
it
too
doesn't
bad.
suck. It does not suck at all. I'm looking forward to going back to the States for I almost said Halloween, Thanksgiving. That's
Yeah.
coming up soon, so I
Yeah, I was
leave
gonna say
Friday.
you might have missed Halloween there.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Well, you mentioned this Trump rally, and we talked about it last week. Let me go right over to a chart here of the SPX. All right. So this is election Tuesday. This is the Wednesday following the S&P 500. This is the actual cash settled index that tracks the S&P 500. Sometimes we look at the SPYs, but this one is really important because it amplifies the power of what I call lines in the sand that tend to occur at round numbers. All right, so this is the 500 biggest market cap stocks in the United States stock market, and we had this massive gap here, and then the SPX continued rising, hit 6,000, and has yet to close above 6,000, having tested it. Nope, 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 and that level has held for 4 days now, and it's either going to hold or it's not. And so I'm waiting to see. The thing that has me pause a bit is that, this is post-election fervor, right? So the markets, traders love Republican governments, and it's believed Trump's going to make it better for corporations by lowering taxes. He's also going to lift tariffs, apply tariffs to foreign goods coming into the United States. So there's a fear that that might spur on inflation, and so the markets are kind of like deer in the headlights. Now I could guess where we're going to go, but I don't have to, because I'm looking at 6,000, round number, multiple of 1,000. 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. That's a solid level. And so now we're going to do one of two things probably. We're going to have a little bit of a pause in the rally, perhaps drop a bit, or, which I'm really leaning into, this is what I think will happen, but I don't know for sure, is that the S&P 500 will close above 6,000, and then we'll get another leg up. And by the way, that is all-time high territory. So the SPX is flirting with all-time highs. Are we going to go higher? We're going to take a little bit of a break. I don't know, but I don't need to. I'm going to wait. So if we get a high volume, preferably a high volume close above 6,000, then I would anticipate further bullishness into Christmas. The Santa Claus rally is a real thing. Around Christmas to New Year's, sometimes it starts before, sometimes after Christmas, but typically we get a bullish run. We've got the Fed meeting in December. They're probably going to cut rates another quarter point like they did, what was it, last week? Last week. So that's positive for the markets. So anyway, we're at a pause in the rally, and that's the case across the other four major market indices: the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000, and the Nasdaq 100. All of them are flirting with further all-time highs. So that's the formula I have. We can predict, but we don't need to. Just wait for resistance to be breached, and then continue with a bullish prognosis. So I'm cautionary bullish at the moment, subject to, how many times am I going to say this? 15 times now? I close above 6,000. All right, so that's the general market. Now I could you know what, I wasn't planning on doing this, but let me show you this chart of BITO. Now, I don't have futures on, we don't have futures yet. They're coming, but we don't have them yet in the Hub software, but they're coming. And there's if I can find it, there it is. Here's BITO. So cryptocurrency is flirting with 90,000. So cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, I should say, Bitcoin is at all-time highs, threatening to go higher, again, inspired by Trump's bullish stance on Bitcoin. So BITO is an interesting trade we could take a look at today, trading the Trump news, trading bullish cryptocurrency, crypto Bitcoin. That's a trade we could maybe take a quick look at today. And then one other, this came up on the show yesterday. Another one I'm looking at is TAN, and this is an ETF, an exchange traded fund that tracks solar energy. You know, the Democrats are all about green energy, Republicans not so much. Trump, definitely not. And what's happened since is that solar companies have come down. Indeed, we have a trade on Sedge, Solar Edge, that we'll look at here in a minute. And we could start thinking about putting a line in the sand on this ETF, which is not likely to rise during the Trump administration. Of course, anything can happen. But that's another one I promised to talk about on yesterday's Hub AI show. So we got a lot to talk about here, Ryan. Let's go right to our portfolio. These are the most recent trades we've done, and we've taken off 3 winners last week. One on Tesla, one on Taiwan Semiconductor, one on United States Oil. Those 3 were winners. We do have a current trade on Solar Edge. I'm going to use what's called Tom's Tools and look at a risk graph that gives me my picture. All right, so a picture paints 1,000 words, and a risk graph paints a picture of the trade. So we have a line in the sand up here on Solar Edge, and Solar Edge announced earnings, and they weren't good, and the stock tanked. I believe they lowered their future guidance as well. And since we got in on this day here, Solar Edge has dropped. All right, so this picture here is called a risk graph. It translates stock price on the vertical axis to profit on the bottom axis. So here's our zero line. This is our break-even line. And this is the most money we can make in this trade. All right, so the most money we can make in this trade is $50. We sold a 1750, 1850 short call spread for 10 cents. We did it 5 times. We pulled in $50 on 450 of risk for potential profit in the trade of 11.11%. So what happens over time, and this is why credit spreads are so sexy, is that over time you can see we have 3 other colored lines, and as time ticks away, tick, 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 more money. The stock can drop from here. It can rise all the way up to this point. By expiration on November the 22nd, profit. Profit sideways, profit down, profit up, but not too much. So this is where we get our probability. We do have an order to buy this back for 10% of the original credit. We got 10 cents times 100 shares controlled is $10 a spread. We got an order to buy this back for a penny, and it has not yet filled. Why not? Well, you can see here the bid-ask spread is 1 cent by 29 cents. So we'll probably have to take this one closer to expiration before we get filled because of slippage. If you want out of this trade now, you could put an order in to buy it back for 2 cents, free up your 450 of margin that's held aside, and then go find another one. So really, we're waiting. We'll have to wait probably almost to expiration next week before this one will come off. So that's a little nuance. For those of you in my snipers community that meets Mondays from 9 to 10 every Monday, we talk about these kinds of things on that class. So anyway, Ryan, that's a destined winner. And let's pause for a moment. Take a look at our portfolio. Oops, I shouldn't do that. Sorry about that. I go too fast. Yeah, here we go. So this is the performance Ryan mentioned. And since we started in 2024, we have done 51 trades. That's usually 1 or 2 trades a week. And we have 46 of those 51 trades are winners, 5 losers. We don't win 100% of the time. No trading system does. But 90% wins is phenomenal. Now, we're not doubling our money on our trades, though. We're taking 10%. In our case, so far this year, 10.45% on average, with losers considered. We're making about 10% every 6 days. So imagine you had $372 to trade. That's our average position size. That's the average risk that we put in all our trades. You could literally reasonably expect, to be able to take your 372, make 10% in 6 days, and then you got 3 weeks left in the month, and then do it 3 more times, and that 10.45% starts to stack up very, very nicely. So this is our game. This is what we do here. And I've been trading since 1998, full time. I quit my corporate job and started trading in 1998, and I've always loved credit spreads. I put this system together, coupled with. Let's talk about the guidebook while I'm here, Ryan, because there's a lot of moving parts, and I've been on this mission to take trading and make it available in a systematic fashion with rules, and very discrete rules that, if followed, would give the average trader, than even the newest traders, a fighting chance to generate consistency. And I call it snipers. And there's a guidebook. As you've seen in this show, there's a lot of moving parts. We got to find stock opportunities. We're looking at kinds of news that propel a stock upwards or downwards. We look at lines in the sand, support and resistance. We use these fairly, I wouldn't say they're advanced, they're intermediate strategies called credit spreads. They're more complicated than buying a call or a put. There's moving parts on a credit spread. How do you build a bullish one? How do you build a bearish one? How do you position size? How do you calculate your return on investment potential? And most importantly, how do you manage credit spreads to really control your risk and let the winners take care of themselves? All right, so this is a culmination of 25 plus years of trading with the intention of providing you a system that works. I have a trading community called Michael Wade Trade Coaching, and we have a group called Snipers, and many, many people in that group are consistently making money with this system. So this is a free show. If you want more on that Snipers community, just reach out to us. When you get the guide, there's a link below. Put your name and email in there, and then we'll tell you about Snipers if you're interested in checking that out. All right. So Ryan, we got an opportunity on a company everybody's heard of. Can we put up that splash? It's Walt Disney. MICKEYMONEY. Disney beat on their earnings. Now I saw another post that said they beat by a whisker. All right, so they did beat, but not like a resounding bust through estimates. They did top estimates on strong results from their entertainment unit and their streaming. They just released a movie called Deadpool Wolverine. I just watched that last week, Ryan. If you like that kind of movie, it's a really good movie, and I think it's done well. So they're really making great strides in their entertainment. And of course, that's what the company does. But streaming and movies, Disney movies, is really taking hold, as well as their cruise units as well. So Disney is doing really well pre-market, and I do want to get this one on as quickly as possible. Let me take you over to a chart on Disney, and let's take a look and see. There it is. All right, so Disney's going to open up about 112. All right, so let's I want to get this one on fairly quickly. As I said, the markets are open now, and let's see there's Disney opening above 110. All right, so let's start playing with lines in the sand. Already, I'm interested in 110. I'm not going to sell there, but I got my eye on it. And Disney is now above 110. So that's going to be a support level because it's a round number. And then I can say, all right, how close do I want to sell my credit spread? And I'm going to say 100. I don't think we're going to get enough credit down here, but I'd like to sell at 100 because it's also a round number, a multiple of 100, 1 times 100. We also have the 200-day average here, which should keep the stock from dropping to 100. So we could even sell right here, which is 101. So I'm going to try for 100. Now, see, Disney's already taken off. All right, so I'm going to have to move fast. Let's just see. Doesn't hurt to ask now. It doesn't look like Disney's going to come below 110. Look left, support over here. Look at that support level at 110. It held here as support. It held here as support, and that gives it more chance to hold here at support as well. And so that's really important as you start to derive where you want to place your line in the sand. Okay, so I'm going to try for 100. Let me pop into a simulated account in Thinkorswim. These are simulated trades. And what's great about Disney, amongst many things, is that it has weekly options. And so I generally start at 2-week options, 15 days for the November 29s. And then I'll come on here and see if there's anything at 100. No, there's no credit there. So that's not going to work. And so now what I got to do is the next thing I would do is go to December 6th. And on December 6th, I see 24 cents credit. So that's going to be a 22-day trade. But I'm willing to take another week because that's way down here below the 200-day average. And Disney's running. So I've got to move here. I'm going to go after 5 of these. And I'm going to try for an 11-cent credit. So let's see if we can get it. No, it's gone already. I'm going to now try for 10 cents. Cancel, replace. Let's make it 10 cents. It's at 6 cents now. So that's probably not going to fill unless Disney pauses its roll and comes down a bit. And it's not. Okay, so given that it's setting new highs, the other thing you got to put on here is you could also say, well, we have resistance at 115 as well. Look left, resistance, support, resistance through here, and it's dancing with 115. Doesn't want to get above 115 just yet. So likely it'll bounce in this range here. It should stop the stock from rising. That's important because it helps me decide if I want to move my line in the sand higher. Now, given what I see here, I'm now going to go a little higher because if I move my line in the sand higher, I think I just got it. Just got it. All right. They gave me 14 cents in a simulated account, but if you can get 10, you'll be very happy. This is a December 6th. Let me give it to you here in a clean way. All right. Oops. How about we do that again, Mikey? 12.6, sold the 100, bought the 99 put, 10 cents minimum. I got 14 in a simulated account. Sometimes those credits are a little higher than you can get in a live account. So try for 14, try for 10, certainly. Get your 10 cents. And then once you're in, most importantly, what there is for you to do is manage the trade. Okay? So we're going to get out of the trade. I'm going to talk about loss first. If you want to trade for real, you've really got to flip your battery in backwards and not go try to make money, which is going to be the outcome. You look at risk management. Our job as a trader is risk management. Profits come as a consequence of risk management. Manage your risk and let the profits take care of themselves. And this system is built around that. So all we got to do now is we put on a GTC profit stop to buy the spread back for 10% of what we sold it for. So if this happens, I'll buy the spread back for a penny. There it is. That's the 10% of the You can round it up to 2 cents if you like, but I'm going to keep it at 1. And then if you buy the spread back for a penny, you've netted 13 cents of profit, which will be well over 10%. Well, a few points over 10%. So that's our game. And then once you have that order in, and let me build it. I'll show you how to do it real quick. So now that I have here's the order that's filled. We sold 5 Disney December 6, 100 puts. We got 50 cents for those. And then we bought the 99 puts underneath for 36 cents. And that netted us 14 cents. So now what I'll do is create the opposite order, flip the battery in backwards, buy to close what you sold, sell to close what you bought, and then set your GTC order for 1 cent, and then specify good till cancel, confirm and send. And then if I go back to monitor here, you can see I have this working order. I just got out of what happened? Oh, I made a mistake. Let me do it again. I put 11. I had a typo there. Create the opposite order. 0.01 GTC. I must have put 0.11. I was moving too fast. Slow down, Mikey. You got plenty of time, brother. And so now this order sits out there, and it just filled. Keeps filling in the wrong. I don't know what's happening there. All right. Anyway, you get the point. And that order sits there, and as soon as it fills, your profits will come off automatically. And then all you got to do then is keep an eye on the stock chart. And if Disney starts getting close to your 100 level, which is down here now, if it gets to the 200 and breaches it, then you got to start watching it and get ready to close the trade if Disney is below 100 as you approach market close. And then close it and manage your risk. And then we're letting the winners take care of themselves. And the only job now is to keep an eye on the stock price. Disney's below 100. By the end of the market, close it before the market closes, and you're done. All right, Ryan, that's a good one. I'm liking that one. Now, I'm going to fulfill a promise from yesterday's show on the AI Hub AI show. And now we already have Solar Edge. So if you're in Solar Edge, it's not a good idea to put on a trade on the same sector. But I think this is a decent opportunity for those that aren't already in Solar Edge. So I'm going to cover this one. This is an exchange traded fund, which is a stock that has options that tracks solar companies. And I've just said, with Trump as president, not likely they're going to be subsidized or supported in the fashion that Democrats support green energy. So it's very unlikely that we're going to see solar companies start recovering unless Trump changes his tune. Now, that seems doubtful in my mind. So now we can go take a look at, well, can I get a trade that makes money anywhere below 37.50? All right, now why is 37.50 so important? Look left, support at 37.50, support at 37.50, support and resistance here at 37.50, resistance here at 37.50. The stock's coming down. So if it does recover, this is going to be a strong level. It should and probably will keep the stock below 37.50. So that's a perfect place to put your line in the sand. And then let's just go see what's available. I don't know. I haven't looked yet this morning. I'm doing it now. Go to TAN, and here's the options that are available. Weeklies. November 29 is 15 days. And then I look at 37.50, 38. And I like that it'd be $1 spread. So let's look at 37.50, 38.50. There's 12 cents there. Man, I'm digging it. I'll take it. We'll do 5 contracts. I'll give you this one as well. And let's see if we can grab this one for 12 cents. All right. No real rush to get into this one. You can just let it sit if you like. Let's just take 11 so I can get it off the boards here. Probably going to get 11 on this. Maybe not. 11. The other little trick here is if you specify GTC on your entry, sometimes that gets you a faster fill. Let's try for 11. Confirm and send, send. Not filling. All right. I'll set it at 10. That's my minimum. And I'll set it and forget it. Confirm and send, send. If that fills, I will track it in our portfolio. Yeah, 10 cents, 12.50. Good chance we'll get filled on that, but not so far. And again, you can get into this trade anytime, right? You know, between now and week, months ahead, you can continue to let this trade come to you. All right, Ryan, there's two of them. Do any of our community members have any stocks to look at for us?
I like it. I like the two trades there. Yeah. Steve asks about Disney.
Mm-hmm. Great
Well,
minds think alike.
It always
Steve.
makes me laugh because your community members always like they always know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
And they always have the stock that you're gonna look at in the chat. It's funny.
Yeah, a lot of the people on this show are from my snipers community, and they're kicking some butt.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Looking at David says RKLB.
Rocket Lab. I always the Elton John Rocket Man song pops in my head when I RKLB when I hear that. Rocket Lab is in the space industry, and they blew it out the other day and yesterday on great earnings, lifted guidance, all that good stuff. It's a fairly new company, and institutions are loving the stock. And so Rocket Lab gapped up, went to 22.50, and today is coming down a bit. Now let me go check the news on this bad boy. Why is Rocket? It's just probably just profit taking. But let's take a look at the news here and see if there's any news for today. You can go to a lot of places, finance.yahoo.com, get some news. Let's check the news. News yesterday was awesome. They blew out earnings. Today it's coming down a bit. Is there any bad news? Let's just take a quick look. Make sure we don't jump in front of a bearish train. And let's just see what's come up news-wise. Analysts are bullish on the stock, lifting their guidance. This happened an hour ago. Price target to 14.36. So soars on earnings beat, 55% sales spike. That's SpaceX competitor. Stock over 30% on Q3 earnings result. Yeah, this is a really good one. And I say an opportunity because there's been some profit taking. And the other part of it is that the implied volatility, which is, think of it as expense. So these are very expensive options because of all the attention this company's getting. So I like this one. Now, the thing about it, though, is that the stock has never been this high. That was all time. It's still, 22.50 was all time high territory. And now the stock's taking a bit of a break. Now, I don't know how far it's going to drop. Who does? But we could count on 15 holding. Why? Well, the 2 days before earnings, 15, nope. 15, nope. Bumped its head twice. It is coming down fairly aggressively, so I'm a little nervous about 15, but I would be willing to consider it at 12.50. So let's take a look and see what's there. Not ideal. I don't want to. I do think 15 will hold though. So 12.50 for me would be as close as I'd want to get. If I could get something down here at 10, I'd take it all day long. So let's see. Now here, let me just tell you about this relationship. If I sold a credit spread here, I'd get a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of credit. And as I move my line further away, you get less credit. And so given the implied volatility, we can try for 10. Let's take it all the way down to 10 and see what's there. Doesn't hurt to look, right? RKLB. A little typo there, Mike. RKLB. Take two. Yeah, it's got weekly options. Yay. And the other thing, just a quick trick here, is you can see the implied volatility over here. 20 is about average, 10, 15, 20, 128, 114. That's expense. That means the options have a lot of value pumped into them. And so that means I have a better shot of getting filled down here at 10. And I can see there's no credit. And so then I'll lift it up a bit. 1250 is as high as I want to go. And there's 27 cents there. What about 12? So 1250, there appears to be some decent amount of credit. So then I want to go take my line in the sand and put it right there at 1250. Yeah, I think that's a good trade. Again, the stock will find support at 1750 and 15. And then if it breaches that level, then we could potentially get into trouble. But that's as close, as far away as we can get. So let's just see what we can get there. All right, so I'm going to do the 1250, 1150, showing 17 cents. Let's try it for 5 contracts, and let's see if they'll give us 17 cents. All right, I'll put this order up here in a minute. All right, so I'm asking 17. They're saying no. All right, let's cancel, replace this, and try for 16 cents. Back off a little bit. Take a little bit less. And I tell you what I'm going to do just to make this easy. I'm going to set it at 15 cents, confirm and send, and let that sit. Yeah, that'll if we put 10 cents, I would say almost definitely get filled on this one. But given that Rocket Lab is coming down, even now, it's come down since I've been talking about it. As it comes down, the amount of credit down here gets higher. So let me give you this order real quick. So this is Rocket Lab, and this is a November 29, and we're selling. Make sure I don't make a mistake here. Now it's down to 7.5 cents. So let me cancel, replace this, make it 10. That has a very good chance of getting filled. All right, so we're going to drop it down to 10. Selling the 1250, buying the 1150. I wouldn't go any higher than this, y'all. So I know a lot of people in my community like to get more aggressive. So be careful. So we're going to do that for 10 cents. And so here's the order then. RKLB is the symbol. Sell to open the RKLB November 29, 1250 put. Buy the 1150 put underneath. Get at least 10 cents. And then manage the trade according to the way I do it here on the show, as well as the guidebook. That's a good one, brother. I like it.
Nice. Very nice. Next one, if you have time, is from Steve, and it's NU.
NU, New Holdings. I haven't seen this one today. Ah. You know what I like about it already is this resistance level at 16. All right, so something's happened. The stock has gapped down. So the next step is, why did it gap down? Well, let's go take a look here. New Holdings. I mean, I'm just checking the news here. Let's see. New Holdings earnings call highlights record revenue and customer growth. They surpassed on their estimates. So the earnings, it's down for a reason. And I don't know why it's down, because they beat on their earnings, record revenue and customer growth, and yet the stock came down. So they must have done something that disappointed the analysts. Tell you what I'm going to do. This is a little faster. I'm going to go into Thinkorswim and look at their news. It's a bit more granular, so I can see better. And oftentimes you'll get a reason. KeyBank maintains overweight. Susquehanna positive on new holdings, raises price target. New holdings are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results. But the stock came down. Beats estimate. Beat. Sales, yeah, it's a bit puzzling why the stock is down. Now, this sounds like a bullish trade to me. And I'm seeing a bounce off 14. But what's missing for me is I don't know why the stock has come down. Because it shouldn't. Something's happened. And without understanding that a bit better, I'd be reluctant to put on a bullish trade. But I think without knowing why the stock came down after good news, good earnings, looks like it wants to bounce right off 14, because it has so far. It's now above the 50-day average. So I think if we could get something at 13, that would be a reasonable trade. So I would try. I'm not going to put it here because I don't have any news to tell me why the stock came down. I think it's just profit. That's my guess. Probably profit taking, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. Profit taking. Doesn't look like it wants to drop below 14, but I like this one at 13. But if you do want to take this trade, then see if you can derive why the stock's come down after really good earnings. So I'm going to leave it there, Ryan. I'm not going to take this one because I don't have 100% visibility around why the stock dropped. But I think technically speaking and great earnings should keep the stock above 13. Ryan, another good show, brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your help.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's a wrap for this week. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good weekend. See you soon.